Hi guys, how are you all doing? In this video, I'm going to be talking about Angular architecture, RxJS. So this is a part of whole series of Angular architecture and best practices using Angular State Management System, NGRX Redux. And first video, I'm covering on RxJS because I think you can't actually implement the Angular structure in a best way or manipulate data coming from the API or existing data in the memory. You can't do it in a best way without using RxJS. So this video I chose to teach you guys how to use RxJS, what are the best practices of using it, and how to structure Angular code in a way that if you intend to make an enterprise level application, how to structure the Angular code using Redux, state management system, and the best practices. So this video is about RxJS. So you need to learn RxJS before we move forward about the Angular architecture solutions, right? So let's get started with RxJS. So first, I'm not going to be using RxJS directly in Angular. I'm going to be using RxJS in just a simple JavaScript web application that I'm going to be creating using Node Package Manager. So I'm using terminal in this screen. So here I'm going to be using npm init-y. So it's going to create a file called package.json, and this is going to contain information of all the packages we install. So for this, we only need the package called, you can say RxJS. So for installing it, I'm going to run a command npm I, and I'm going to be writing RxJS. So what it's going to do is it's going to download this RxJS package from internet. It's giving me an error because I can't name RxJS with the folder. So RxJS rx-js. Let me do it. Now let me install RxJS package. So it has started downloading the RxJS package from internet, and it has installed it, and I also added its reference over here. You can see it has installed node modules folder and also installed RxJS package inside it. Fine. So now we are good to go, and let me first create this index.js file. Right. So here I can import RxJS library. So how can I import it? So I will write const, and first I will be using two RxJS functions that are really important if you want to create an observable with the constant data directly in your code, but not with HTTP calls. So now that is off and from, and require RxJS, right? So off and from are the RxJS function that let us create observables with the constant data, right? So I'm going to create a stream of data. So data equals to off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And now this off operator have created an observable for me. Now I can iterate through this observable, and for subscribing to that observable, there's a concept of subscription. So observable is like this is a kind of data that we can observe, and there can be more than one observers, just like you subscribe to a blog website, and whoever have subscribed to that blog, whenever new blog gets updated on that website, all of the subscribers get notification through email or through notification or anything like that. They get to notify whenever new things is up. So here we have 5 values. So I'm going to create one subscriber that for this data I'm the first subscriber, or I don't need to know if I'm the first or not. All the subscribers are going to get notified that I need to get the data. So data dot subscribe and item equals to console.log item item and item, right? So now let me run this file and see what happens. So for running it, I'm gonna run. So for this, you need to install Node from Node website. Just install Node, and it's gonna install the npm package in your system, right? So Node, uh, and the name of file is nodeindex.js. So it has like generated all the 1 2 3 4 5. So let me first uh, create another subscriber. So now you can see it has created the item 1 and item 2, item 3, item 4 and 5, and now again 1 2 3 4 5. So uh, it is dispatching the subscription that here is the data come and these are the two subscribers. So it needs to dispatch the notification to these subscribers, and both the subscriber are going to perform any operation whatever we have implemented it with, right? Now let me just copy it and paste it over here, and I'm gonna write from and data 2, right? So it's not letting me to create it. So as per my knowledge, we can't create simple values from the from. Actually, from is used for creating arrays, right? So I have added the square brackets and it has generated array, right? I'm going to create the two subscriptions because I just needed to create that for your understanding. So data2.subscribe, right? So from item. Okay, so let me run this file, and now you can see item 1 2 3. So what's the difference between off and from? Actually, off is used to uh, generate the values without arrays as well, but from doesn't allow us to add the values without arrays. So let's see that if I add the array over here, and now you will see the difference. I'm going to explain you what's the difference. You are also going to analyze the difference. Yeah, now you have seen the difference. Here, if I add array within off, then it's going to like return the data at once. So you can see item, and it has returned the whole array at once. So item string has only generated only for one time, right? But what from does is it returns the values to its subscribers one by one, right? 1 2 3 4. That's why from item string have been generated separately from these strings, right? So now let's say that we wanna unsubscribe any of this observer, or generally what we do is we can unsubscribe the blog whenever we try to subscribe it, and we don't want to get the data from it, right? So I'm gonna create like another function, interval, right? Interval actually return us a specific value within in seconds, and whatever value we give it to, right? So let me explain you what do I mean by it. So data3 equals to interval and 2000, right? So what it's gonna do is it's gonna keep on returning us the values, not 1 2 3 4 5, and 2000 means after 2000 milliseconds. So it's gonna return us 2 4 6 8 10, right? So let me copy this one, paste it, data3 from interval item, right? So let me run this file. Now you can see that from interval it is returning 0 1 2. So actually it is returning us 0 1 2 3 and incremental values after 2 seconds. it's not the digit that it's going to return, but it's going to return after 2 seconds, right? So it's going to keep on loading up. So we want to stop it. We don't want to keep it just running, right? So we have a concept of unsubscription. So for that, this is the subscriber. For unsubscribing it, we need to have its reference, that this was the reference to this object, and we are going to unsubscribe it. So I'm going to add its subscription. So const subscription equals to this const, right? Now let's say that I want to unsubscribe this subscription after 10 seconds, right? So I can use the JavaScript set timeout function, right? And here I can add the 10,000 as a value, and it means it's going to get unsubscribe. That I'm just gonna do subscription dot unsubscribe, right? So 10,000 means after 10 seconds it's going to get unsubscribed. So let me stop it, let me run it, and you can see it has printed these items from off, these items from, and this is from interval. So I'm waiting. So yeah, so these values were printed after 2 seconds. So let's say after 2 seconds 0 printed, after 4 seconds 1 printed, after 6 seconds 2 printed, after 3 seconds after 8 seconds 3 printed, and after 10 seconds it's not going to like print it, but before that it's going to unsubscribe it. So it doesn't mean that you have an observable from interval, from off, or HTTP call observable, your own observable, or any observable. RxJS provide you around 70 to 80 within functions that gives you observables. Even the HTTP client module of Angular return as observable that we subscribe it to, right? So this is how you can use the basic operators, and there are more things to go that I'm just gonna cover. So let me create another file, and I'm going to call it operators.js, right? So what it's gonna do is I'm going to cover few of the basic operators that are really important for you if you want to manipulate data when data comes from the API, right? So let me copy this line from index.js, paste, and for the, let me write RxJS operators, right? So in Angular you don't import it like this, you use import keyword for that, but I'm not using Angular. It works same way that I'm using here without using Angular, right? It's just easy to actually run the Node.js files and not just a recompilation and wait for Angular files, right? So I'm just going to remove it, and I'm going to import map filter, map operator, filter operator, tap operator. These are the three operators that I widely and mostly use. So these are really important if you want to manipulate data, right? So let me copy again. I do need off actually, right? So off and from, right? So now let me create data equals to off 1 2 3 4 5, and let me create a data.subscribe. Let me copy it from here, right? So it's going to like print the values. So let me just run this file just to see if there aren't any errors. So you can see items printed. Now I want to manipulate this data. Let's assume that this data is coming from the API and you want to manipulate it. For example, I want to increment each value by 2. So how can I do it? So for that, RxJS provide us an each observable in RxJS or in HTTP client module, it gives us a keyword called pipe. So all the operators that we will be using over here should be entered within the pipe. We can't directly use map, filter, tap, or there are more operators like switch map, flat map, merge map, debounce time. So there are a lot of operators, right? So for pipe, and let's say that I want to change the value of each value that is within the of observable. So value plus 2, right? So I don't need to add this semicolon. Now let me just run it, and now you can see it has incremented each item by 3, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So all the elements have been incremented by 2. So if I want to like decrement, now you can see it has decremented. So let me add another operator so we can have as much as operator within the pipe. So I don't need to, like, I have used the map over here. If I want to use filter operator or tap filter, I need to like compile this data and apply that filter. I can do it at once, right? So map, and I can write filter. So let's say that I want to fetch only even values from this, whatever the map returns us, right? Let me increment it by 2. Now I want to filter it, the value, whoever is the even. So value mod operator 2 equals to 0, right? So this is how we detect if the value is even, then we are going to return it to data, otherwise we don't. So map actually used to change the data. Filter actually used to filter out specific data, that which data needs to be added in this data constant value, right? So let me run it. Now you can see 4 and 6 were the only values that were even, right? So it has incremented. Let's calculate 1 plus 2 3, which is not an A1. 2 plus 2 4, which is 6, which is 4, that is has been returned over here. 3 plus 2 5, which is not even. 4 plus 2 is 6, which has returned, which is even. 5 plus 2 7, so it has returned us correct data, right? So let's say that I want to check that what values map returned us, right? This is for debugging. So that's why I added tap. So in between filter and map, I want to see what map returns and what filter operator did. So tap doesn't do anything. It just used for debugging and just help us that what the previous filter returned. We can also add the tab before map operator, right? So log, and I can write after map, and I can print out the value, right? So it's also going to return us the value that will be returned by map. Okay, so first map returned 3, which is not even. Then after map returned 4, which is even, so it has printed. Then it returned 5, then it returned 6, which has been printed. Then it returned 7. So tap actually helping me out that if my result is correct or not, right? So it's these 3 operators are really important for you to learn these, and without these operators, like these are very important, right? So next we're going to be talking about observables, self-made observable. How can we create our own observable rather than using of or from or any of such operators? So I'm going to create another file, observable.js. So here I have created this observable.js file, and let me import both of these imports from operators.js. And here I'm going to import few things. first of all observable, then I'm going to add off, then I'm going to add throw error, subject, behavior subject, right? So let me remove the above one. Okay, fine. So I'm going to be using this first function that is used to create our own observable. So const data equals to the new observable, and after that I need to pass an observer, any value, right? So I have created a new observable, and this is the observer, and this observer can trigger out any value whenever it wants. So observer dot next, and let's say ABC, it has triggered out ABC. Just copy the subscription from here, and there are subscribed items. Yeah, that should work. In the terminal, I'm going to change the name of this file. Okay, so you can see it has returned the item ABC. Now I can add another observer, and I can pass my name inside it. And so now two observables, two observer have subscribed to this observable that we have just created. So now you can see it has returned us item ABC, item Umair. So as much as observer we want to add inside it, we can add it. It's not like you can directly add it. It's up to us that how we want to manipulate data. So let's say set timeout, right? So I want to show my name after 2 seconds. So I will add the milliseconds in this set timeout. So now let me just run it. So now you can see it is waiting, and now it has printed my name. It was quick and it was after 2 seconds, right? So we can like make it complex as much as we want. It's not like you just need to add set timeout. You can add another subscription inside it. You can add promises. Let's say that I want to add promise, right? So after first observer, I'm gonna create a promise equals to the new promise. So resolve and reject are the two values. So resolve and reject. Fine. Okay. So I'm going to like paste this thing inside it, and rather than adding this observer, I'm going to like add resolve, and I'm going to send my name, right? So this is the reference of this promise. I have another video about promises, async await operators, callbacks, and you can just check out my channel, search about promises in JavaScript by Awais Mirza, and you will get to that video. So it's just so simple, and you will get the idea how the promises works if you don't have any idea. So promises, so promise dot then, and here data, let's say well, observer dot next well. So what it's gonna do is I have subscribed to it, so this is the observer. This will be quick, right? And then next resolve. This is the promise. Resolve is actually when there is no error, we use resolve operator, but when there is an error, we use reject operator. I'll just let you know that when you can use reject. So after 2 seconds, it's going to resolve it, and this is the promise. As soon as this gets created, this is going to get triggered, and after 2 seconds, this promise is going to receive value, and this observer is going to return the value to the subscriber of this data. So here, right? So let's see what happens. Let me save it. ABC is quick, and it's just same working same as it was before. So this is how you can like add item and item Umair. And yeah, so let's say that you have like, but sometimes what you need to do is when you're creating an observable by your own, you need to complete the observer, that from this point I don't have any observer left, I need to complete the observer, right? So what can I do is after promise then value, I can add the curly braces, right? So observer next value, right? And after that I can add a complete, this is just a tip for you guys because it is required for performance purpose for you to learn the best practices whenever you are creating like this. And after the end next, you just need to call this one. So if I run it, you can see it is not causing any difference, but technically it is required because it won't cause any memory leakage problems for you guys. So make sure you don't forget to add this in your so how does it work in the subscription? Let's say I am adding this curly braces console log. The first console log is going to have um, like, let me format it a bit for you guys to understand, right? So we have this subscription, we have this item, right? So this is the item. First subscription value is for any successful value that gets returned from here, right? Second is for error. So let me copy and add a comma, and this is for error. Item error, right? And I'm gonna print the error, right? And there is a third value, and third is whenever any observable gets completed, we will be having this third value that will be returned. So console.log, I'm done, right? So let me run it. I have saved this file and I have run it, and you can see that it waited for 2 seconds. It has printed out item Umair, and I'm done have been printed after this value got printed. So if I don't write this observer.complete, it's not going to be printing this I'm done value. You can see it has not printed. So I'm just going to return it. So for debugging purpose, for best practices along with error, you just need to print that out. So how can I print the error? As I said you that resolve is used for successful value and reject is used for error message. So reject Umair and node observable, and now you will see it has returned an error. ABC got printed and then it has returned some kind of error. It's up like I don't want to like read it out completely. So let me return it to resolve. So it's just a part of the promise, right? So now this is how you can like receive errors from any observable, right? So the most important thing that I use is subject and behavior subject. These are really important, guys, and please just keep focusing, and you should learn these values, these observables. So const subject 1 equals to new subject, the simple subject. Now this is the simple thing, and the subject 1 dot next 1 and subject 1 dot subscribe console dot log data, and now the data, right? It will work same. I just want to like comment above code from until here, right? I don't want it to confuse me while I'm printing the data in my terminal. Right, so I've just run it and right, let me save it. Subject1 dot next one, and it has just subscribed and it is not printed yet, right? This is how it should work. But this is because I have written just to let you guys know the difference between subject and behavior subject. Let me run it, write it after this. Let's change this value. Run this file. Now you can see the data 2 has been printed, right? So next is used to dispatch the value. Subject is used to create an observable, and we can add its reference. And whenever any data value gets changes, we can store its value. It's just work as a local storage or cache storage, right? You can learn this concept by thinking about local storage and session storage. So subject one, so this subject one have current value next one, right? So it should subscribe before it can dispatch any value using the next keyword. So next keyword before this subscription won't work if we are using only subject. And one thing more, subject observable cannot have initial value. Initial value can only be dispatched using the next keyword, right? And after that we can add the further values from here. Save it, and you can see 2 3 has been printed because these next have been added after the subscription, right? So let me copy this and paste it, and I'm gonna change the subject to and data subject data behavior subject, right? So behavior subject. Fine. Now actually behavior subject, let me just run it. Let's see what happens. So you see 2 3 has been printed. Now for behavior subject 1 2 3 have been printed. So doesn't matter if subscription have been happened, but the initial value can be dispatched. So a behavior subject doesn't need to have any subscriber before the dispatch of any value. So we don't need to add a next here. If we can have, we can like add further values before the subscription. But behavior subject can have an initial value inside it. It can be an object, it can be an array, string, integers, or anything, a reference to any particular object as well, right? So now let's see what happens. So 1 2 3 4. So you see it has printed 2 3 4, and this next happens before subscription. So don't get confused yourself, because the next keyword before subscription should only have only one value. There cannot be like initial two values to one observable, right? So if I just remove it, now if I run it, now you have seen that initial value that I have given to behavior subject, it's going to return us 1. Subject does not support the initial value even using next or even within the parentheses, right? So if you want to maintain the state of any array, or if you have a UI top tabs and you want to maintain which tab is selected, you can use the behavior subject or subject to add a reference to that subjects, right? So RxJS is very powerful library, and if I just open it up, RxJS for Angular, so it has just given me these things. Let me open the separate RxJS. So this is the logo of RxJS. You can see how much it is used. It is not just used with Angular. it can be used without Angular in React, Vue, or even in vanilla JavaScript. You can use RxJS using the script tag directly in HTML files, right? So this is the pipe, and this is the thing I have just explained you guys. The range is just, I think, works like interval, but interval waits, but range might not have been waiting, right? So there are a lot of functions and operators within RxJS, and you just need to go through its documentation, and you can learn a lot from it. You just need to be expert while you are manipulating data using RxJS. For this video, I was just covering the basics for fundamentals of RxJS. This is a part of Angular architecture I'm explaining again, and I'm going to be creating more videos about Angular, and I'm going to be using RxJS again while I'm creating a new Angular project, right? So you should like follow up and subscribe my channel, and there are more videos coming up. If you want to be a good Angular developer, I'm going to be covering the best practices and building an awesome Angular code structure, extensible reusable components, and state management system, no duplication of code. So for this I will be using NGRX and Redux, and I will be using the observables of RxJS in the coming 5-6 videos of the NGRX and Angular architecture. So stay tuned guys. If you like my video, make sure to subscribe my channel, just share it, and comment below if you have any question. So thank you so much for watching my video.